Hey, what is up guys? Welcome to Strive. My name is David Quinn, and you've already heard me say this before, but nothing looks better on a man than a well-tailored suit. And they seem pretty straightforward, right? Like you need some shoes, a shirt, a tie, and a suit, basically. That's about it, right? But things aren't as simple as they seem. I remember the first time I had to put on a suit, I just threw on the first thing I found and called it a day. Little did I know that there was a whole boatload of different unspoken suit rules that you have to follow. You're probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? Well, let me explain. Okay guys, so these are 8 things that you should keep in mind whenever you're suiting up. Let's jump right in. Tip number 1 is, which buttons do you button up? And I've seen this so frequently where people just button up both the buttons. And that is not the way you do it, okay? Most likely, if you already have a suit, it's gonna be a 2-button suit. There are other types like single button or 3-button suits, and other ones that are completely different that are double-breasted suits. Well, that's a topic for a different video altogether. What you need to know is that you're not meant to button up all the buttons. In the case of the 2-button jacket, which is the most common by a mile, you just button the top one, okay? The bottom one remains unused. If, on the other hand, you have a 3-button jacket, the middle one is always buttoned, and the top one is optional. The bottom one remains unused as well. This 3-button layout is better for taller people. People like Shaq wear 3-button suits because it's more proportional to their frame. Okay guys, so tip number 2 is take care of your suit. Suits are pretty delicate, so you want to take good care of them. And for that, you want to use a padded hanger. As you can see here, it's got like wide shoulders, so that way it doesn't deform the jacket, right? And this is what you want to stay away from. If I were you and you have the money, just get rid of these altogether. These things have ruined so many of my clothes that it's not even funny. It stretches out the shoulders and leaves it completely out of shape. For suits specifically, get these hangers, okay? Another thing that can deform your suit is whenever you're sitting down, not unbuttoning it. You're going to stretch it out. You're going to put unnecessary stress on it and it'll end up losing its shape. So whenever you sit down, you'll see everybody doing this. Whenever they sit down, they just unbutton it and that's it. Whenever you stand back up again, you button it up again. 3, this one is so common. I see this all the time and it's a fashion crime. You see guys wearing like black shoes and a brown belt. Just where to start here. You gotta match your shoes to your belt in color. You get extra points if you manage to use the same type of leather. So make sure you get that fixed. Whenever you're gonna get a belt for your shoes, also remember to wear the shoes on the day you're going to buy the belt. Don't do it by memory. I've made that mistake as well before. Another pro tip is people that wear sports socks with shoes, like dressing shoes. Not cool, guys. Not fucking cool. This looks terrible. Switch them out from some dressy socks. Some like just plain black ones or plain basic color. Or if you want, you can convey your personality choosing some more bright or patterned socks, basically. Okay guys, so let's go on to tip number 4, and that is whenever you want to wear a suit, make sure they're made out of the same fabric, they have the same pattern, and they have the same color. Sometimes I see people getting like the pants in one shop and a jacket in another and try to match them up. The colors don't tend to match exactly and it just looks off, okay? And it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So keep that in mind. If you're gonna buy a suit, buy it all in the same place and make sure that it's a matching set. If you're going to go for something where it's obvious that you're pairing up 2 different items, 2 different colored items, and you can maybe pull it off, like maybe a navy with a light gray or something like that. Okay, tip number 5 is your lapel and tie width. What is this? Well, your lapel is this part here, okay? All blazers have it. You have 3 different kinds. You have shawl, which is mostly used in tuxedos, peak, which tends to be used mostly in double-breasted suits, and well, you can find it in other types of suits. And notch. This one in particular is the notch lapel. You can see the notch here, right? This is the most commonly used one right now. Whenever you're matching a tie to your jacket, you want to make sure that the tie in its widest point is as wide as your lapel. There's also different widths in lapel. Generally, if you have a slimmer build, opt for slimmer lapels. If on the other hand, you're the opposite, opt for wider ones. This one's a twofer, okay? So avoid skinny ties. Skinny ties were all the craze a couple of years ago. And honestly, they're pretty hard to pull off. You can see some people pulling them off in very casual outfits. If you pair a skinny tie with a suit, it just looks like you don't know what you're doing. If you want to use a skinny tie in more of a casual environment, you really want to know what you're doing to be able to pull it off. And let's go on to the next tip, guys, and that is pocket squares. Way too many times have I been in a store and I'll just see a pack where they sell a tie and a pocket square, and they have the exact same pattern and they're made out of the exact same material. The problem with this is that it looks cheap for some reason. It looks cheap, and also it's too matchy, if you know what I mean. The tie and the pocket square should have a different pattern, and you get extra points if they're made out of a different material. One of the key aspects of style is making it look effortless. That's why if you have it all too matched, too identical, it just looks too perfect, which looks kind of unnatural and ends up creating the opposite effect of what you wanted to have. Okay, now let's go on to the next tip, and this is the second to last one, and this one is mostly about fit. There's two things that you should keep in mind whenever you're getting a suit, and that is the space here in your chest that you can slide a hand comfortably, and in your collar. You want to be able to fit your hand in between the shirt and the jacket comfortably. If there's too much or too little room, the jacket you're wearing isn't your size. The same happens with the neck region. There should not, and I emphasize on should not, be a gap between the shirt's collar and the jacket's collar. If there is, most likely that blazer does not suit you. And the last thing you guys should be aware of whenever you're putting on a suit is that the tie should always be darker than the shirt. Way too many times do I see guys wearing like a white tie. Way too many times do I see guys wearing like a white tie with a black shirt, and it just looks awful. It makes it look like you're wearing some kind of uniform. I saw this picture in particular of Bryan Cranston at some gala or something, a red carpet event, and he was wearing exactly that. A black shirt with a white tie. And this looks like you're some sort of waiter or something like that. So stay away from that. You can pair, for example, any tie you want on top of this. But also another thing I would recommend is avoid matching the shirt to the tie. The tie helps you add a layering effect, and it also adds depth to your whole outfit. But by using the same color as your shirt or the same pattern as your shirt, you're going to create basically a homogeneous mass that lacks any character. So there you have it, guys. Those are 8 things that you must watch out for whenever you're suiting up. Follow these and I guarantee you'll be one of the best dressed guys in the room. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you disliked it, you know what to do. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you receive a notification whenever I post new content. That is it for me today, guys. This is David Quinn with Strive. See you next time.